Hey folks, how you doing out there today? Remo back, and we are out on the new Highway Haulin 2 map. It is going to be available for all consoles, a single map, so no worries for anyone there. First thing I want to do today is, I forgot in the last video, but I want to give a quick shout out to Daniel Trinzik. I hope I said your last name properly, but thank you very much for the donation, much appreciated. And really good news, actually. I've been saving up for most of a year at this point. Yesterday I went out and bought myself some new PC parts, and they have significantly improved my experience using the editor, rendering videos, all sorts of stuff. I basically yesterday had 3 computers laid out on my table. I was switching I got a CPU, motherboard, RAM, a new NVMe drive, and I switched my old stuff to another computer for my daughter, and another one over some of the parts to a different computer for a little media PC for the TV downstairs. And then I put together my new rig, which is just awesome. In my budget, I got a 5600X and I got an X570 motherboard, so significant improvement over I had an i5 9400 before. So more cores, faster speed, faster memory, faster everything, and it's just really nice experience in the editor. It used to be pretty choppy, and now it's just smooth as butter. I really wanted to thank you all for the donations over time, because that's what's allowed me to purchase this new upgrade to my system, and it's just going to make me work more efficient, have a lot more fun doing it, and just a whole better experience making maps. So shout out to every single one of you that have taken the time to throw a donation my way, because it added up and I got the new parts, and my goodness, is the experience ever a lot better. So thank you. Now this is going to be an actual part of a mission. I did notice that I never finished that house before I threw the video up. I'm sure you all may have. There wasn't much around that house. This is going to be in the middle of one of the contract setups I was talking about in the other video, that's going to be building a factory and doing a bunch of odds and sods jobs to get that done and get everything up and operational. And again, it's going to finish off with a repeatable task that you can play around with a few times if you like. I am out in the GGMS Euro truck, I believe it's called. And it's another extremely well-made mod by GGMS. I believe most of us would say we've come to expect this sort of quality, and this one does not let us down. I thought it would also be a pretty nice truck to be running down the highway. We have a bridge out. It would have been a little bit shorter to turn right back where we left from, but there is a bridge out, and I'm not going to be getting through with this boat, so we're going to take the highway across. I am getting really close to being finished here. I got a few more houses and the lumber mill that I kind of have to populate with a bunch of little stuff in it. I've got, I must be pushing on 90% of the little ambience in the map finished. I haven't got back to finishing the contracts, but the way the first round of 15 went, and there's probably around 20 left, if not more, to add in, it shouldn't take but a few hours. Basically, everything's going pretty smooth. I've really laid myself out properly this time and tried to stay organized, which has been super beneficial and not wasting time. I do want to get this out to play within the next week. I said November 5th. That gives me about a week. I'm going to do a bit of testing, but as usual, I'm going to rely on some of the player base to find any little issues. I don't mind making an update or two. Hopefully the tasks are more or less done well, so we don't have any breaking task issues, but kind of sort of the game. I know all of us modders try really hard to get things right the first time, but sometimes it takes 2 or 3 or 10 times, who knows. Anyways, gonna be very careful, want to have this out in a week, and so far it seems like a pretty feasible goal the way it's going. I have added in the coding on the missions so that I can localize this map. So I do anticipate getting it done. It's not going to be done for release because it's going to take me probably most of a week to get something like that finished. Now, my thoughts on it are most likely, not 100%, but most likely I'm going to add that in when I add the second map to the region. When it turns into a region, the only system I anticipate not being able to play it is going to be Switch with the 2-map region. 3-map, I'm not so sure about PS5, but I'm going to upload the files for it when it happens just to make sure that we gave it a best chance we could, basically. So it's kind of hit or miss. I can only imagine with the new update coming out that there's even that much less memory from the way it seems to work, but I don't know that for a fact, so we'll give it our best shot. I guess it's really going to come down to how everyone enjoys this map, but I'm really kind of throwing it out there, wondering if I should carry on with this and make the second map for the region right away, or are we wanting another trailing kind of map? Probably the next Aussie theme I'm going with is going to be the Fraser Island map that I have been kind of planning on. I had hoped in the past, there's an extrudable sand that's been added to the editor for a while, but there's no directions on how to use it or acknowledgement that exists. I could probably figure it out, but it may turn into one of those scenarios where they delete it at some point and then it breaks stuff. And a ground terrain like that would be devastating if it was removed from the game after you used it. So I'm just not willing to take the chance with that extrudable sand. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't come up with a good Fraser Island map with the sand physics the way they are. We are just about over to the boat launch, which is going to be the end of this task. You're going to actually have to back in and launch the boat out into the water. Kind of like the Outback Heavy Haulin map. I did that twice on that if you've played the region version. And I thought it was kind of a nice way to force a little reversing skill into the game. And it adds an extra challenge. I'm going to take my best shot at it here. I don't know. The parking lot's pretty small, so I'm thinking we'll just back in from the road. But yeah, it's going to be one of many tasks. I got a few of these high saddle heavy haul trailers. I will note on there's a little section where you can recommend stuff, and I'll try to make sure to add the saddle you need for these trailers. I forget usually, and I know it's a bit of a pain in the butt. You have to go a long way back to switch a saddle. I won't have dev tools on this one, so everyone's going to have to play legit, although I have a video of it, but you can add dev tools in with PC on any map if you go into the programming. I haven't done it for a while. I imagine it's still basically the same, but I should check it out and update the video if it has changed. Reversing's not going too bad to start with here. We are getting a little close to the building. Really close to the building. It's not my boat. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this in one shot. You'll notice that the dock is missing. Might be a task coming up that'll be part of this. And I will use the buildable animated model that makes when the trailer disappears, the boat shows up at the dock. Wink, wink. And yeah, there we are. So let me know what you think. Any good ideas, bad ideas? Appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you all again real soon.